When you hear this sound, turn the page. When you hear this sound, the book is over.
The Chugger Championship. The Chugger Championship, adapted by Michael Anthony Steele, based on the story by Claudia Silver and Sarah Ball. It was a beautiful day in Chuggington. The Chuggers were gathered at the train depot for a big announcement. "Good morning, Chuggers," said V, the announcer. "Tomorrow is the Chugger Championship. It's a race around Chuggington. The winner gets a trophy." "Train-tastic," said Coco. "I'm really fast." "Come on," she said to her best friends, Wilson and Brewster. "Let's go practice." Coco and Wilson lined up for a practice race. "On your tracks, get set, go," Brewster shouted. Coco zoomed ahead. She was so excited to be in the lead that she turned down the wrong set of tracks. "And Wilson wins by a headlight," shouted Brewster. "But I'm faster than you," said Coco. "I should have won." Wilson laughed. "I am the champion," he sang. "And we'll see about that tomorrow," Coco said, storming away. The next day, the Chuggers gathered in the depot for the race. Coco and Wilson lined up side by side without saying a word. They both wanted to win. "On your tracks, get set, go," called V. Old Puffer Pete was looking for a safe spot to watch the race, but when Coco zipped up behind him, he realized he was on the same track as the racers. Thought Pete. "Maybe there's still spark in this old engine," he shouted. He decided to join the race. All over Chuggington, people cheered the Chuggers as they raced. Wilson had an idea. "Look, Coco," he shouted. "Someone wants to take your picture." Coco smiled and pulled to a stop. "That's because I'm the fastest," she said. "Can't catch me," Wilson shouted as he sped by her. Coco had been tricked. "Hey, that's not fair," she cried. Coco got back on track and chugged down the rails. She caught up to Wilson, who was stopped at a turn. "Coco, help," Wilson cried. "I went too fast, and now I'm out of fuel." "Yeah, right," said Coco. "I'm not falling for your tricks again." "It's not a trick," Wilson pleaded, but Coco had already passed him. Suddenly, Wilson heard a train speeding toward him. It was Emery, the rapid transport chugger. Emery couldn't see Wilson beyond the turn. They were going to crash. "Watch out," shouted Wilson. "Chugger down." Coco heard Emery coming down the track and heard Wilson's cry for help. She knew Wilson was really in trouble. "Hold tight, Wilson," shouted Coco. She raced back and pulled Wilson out of the way. "Thanks," said Wilson, "but pulling me is going to make you lose the race." "Making sure you're safe is way more important than winning," said Coco. Coco towed Wilson all the way to the end of the race. They were just in time to see old Puffer Pete cross the finish line. "And the winner is old Puffer Pete," shouted V. "I'm sorry for tricking you, Coco. If you hadn't stopped to help me, you still could have won," said Wilson. "I'm sorry I was so silly about wanting to win," said Coco. "Friends?" asked Wilson. "Friends," Coco agreed. "V, I think someone else should have the trophy," Pete said. "I didn't race from the beginning." "Well," V replied, I do know a chugger who didn't come in first, but she gave up her lead to help a friend. That makes her a true champion. I say this year's champion is Coco. Hooray for Coco! All the trains cheered for the new Chugger champion.